Chapter 4. So as I opened my eyes, I found myself in a strange, kind of dark, gloomy place. The only light was a few small candles in the corner of the room. Filled with fear and curiosity, I start to explore, and I wondered to myself, how did I get here? And who brought me here? All I could remember was being in my room and hearing a strange voice and smelling something, and then everything goes dark. And then I came across this figure of a man dressed in black. And then he turns around to look at me. I back up until I hit a wall behind me, and I hope that the man doesn't come any closer. He has a white mask covering the right side of his face, and I try to make myself as small as I can so that he stops looking at me. Hello, my dear Christine. Glad to see you've awakened. He comes closer to me, and my heart stops beating. He is beautiful and frightening at the same time. The strange man with the mask reaches out and touches my cheek. He lifts my face gently with his hand and speaks again. I love you, Christine, and I'm so glad you came back. Now we can continue our music lessons. And then he starts walking away from me, and then he turns around and motions for me to follow him. And I tell him no. And I ask him, who are you? And who is Christine? And he tells me that I am Christine, and that he tells me to come with him. And I tell him, I'm not Christine. And I ask him once more who he is. And he starts to walk back over to me as he explains, I am your angel of music, also known as the opera ghost. My name is Eric. And then he asks, and then I ask him, where am I? And he says to me, don't you remember this place? I've brought you here before. And I tell him, my name is Catherine, and I don't know anyone named Christine. And then the masked man gets furious, and I'm terribly frightened. And the phantom starts singing a haunting tune to me, and all of a sudden my eyes get heavy, and I drift off into darkness, and my mind starts to wander. And I don't feel like myself. Chapter 5. The room is silent, except for the soft music coming from a distance. I look around and try to figure out where it's coming from. I turn to the right, and the music grows louder. I take my time walking down the long hallway until I see the strange man again. I come closer to the door and see that he is playing the organ, but this time he's not alone. A beautiful brunette-haired woman is standing by the organ watching him play. And then they start singing together. And the song is the same song that I heard in the opera house. I see my resemblance to the woman by the organ. Beautiful, isn't she? A voice says behind me. I look back to see the masked man yet again. Why did you bring me here? I asked. Because this is you. This is us. Who we were, don't you remember? I look back at the vision again, and feel even more confused. I see them introduce themselves to each other. You've gotten very good, my dear. My name is Eric, by the way, the man says. I'm Christine, the woman says. Now I see why the man keeps calling me Christine. I'm back in the room with the masked stranger, and no one else is here. It's still dark, and I can't see anything. All of a sudden, the room starts to get lighter and lighter, a little bit at a time, because the candles are being lit. The masked man appears in front of me, sitting on a chair. He tells me to come towards him, and I slowly approach where he is. I sit in the other chair by him and ask, "What is this place?" He tells me it's his dwelling place. I look around at the odd-looking space. I see candles everywhere and lots of red light. I see candles everywhere and lots of red. Excuse me. There is an organ in the corner and a few pictures on the wall of a woman, the woman from the vision, Christine, and I see a broken mirror and some roses with black ribbon tied around them, and some extra masks scattered around. I look back at the man again. What is your name? Is it Eric? What do I call you? He replied, Yes, that is my name, but you may call me Angel of Music.